Hi, good afternoon, everybody. I think in the interest of time, we'll get started. I think people will keep on joining. So good afternoon, everybody, and thank you very much for joining this webinar today on stopping advisories faster with Trend Vision 1. We've got Vikram Shastri from Trend Micro, and I'm Anant Rathod from Dhanyaayai Enterprise. The way we'll do this today is initially we'll talk about what Dhanyaayai does, and then we will quickly hand it over to Vikram to basically run the show for us. We will take the questions at the end of the session. In the meantime, please do type in your questions in the chat so that Vikram, who's helped by his colleague, can also simultaneously answer some of the questions which can be answered on the chat. Otherwise, he'll take it at the end of the session. With that, we'll just kick start. Can you share the slides, please?
Yes, Anand.
All right. Thanks, Vikram. Do I have the control?
Yeah,
All right.
you do.
I think I have the control. Cool. Thanks. So very quickly, we'll get started with a brief background of Dhanyaayai. So Dhanyaayai assists enterprises to drive digital transformation with cutting-edge solutions. As a company, we are into business and technology consultation, and we touch various aspects of the IT infrastructure, data management, network, and security. We take pride in the fact that we do not only greenfield, but we also do brownfield projects in which we enhance, modernize, and revolutionize your infrastructure. So whatever it is for you, we've got you covered. As a company, we got incorporated in 2021, but the people who have founded this company have in excess of 25 to 30 years of experience individually, and collectively, the experience at Dhanyaayai would run into thousands of years. We are currently about 80 odd employees, and we are growing. Our presence across the globe is in the US, Ireland, UK, and Singapore. In India, we are headquartered out of Hyderabad, and we have full-fledged offices in Bangalore, in Mumbai, in Delhi, in Chennai, and in Kolkata. Our journey has been of humble beginnings with about 2 odd crores of revenues in the first year of operations. And in the last year, we've crossed more than 300 crores of revenues. And we are scaling new heights every given year. Quickly touching upon the kind of services that we deliver services in the space of enterprise cloud computing and networking, Gen AI and data, cybersecurity, and unified data resilience. In the enterprise cloud computing and networking, we have solutions in the cloud and hybrid solution space. We help companies getting onto the virtualization journey, whether it is container platforms or a high performance infrastructure. We deliver services in those spaces, as well as managed services. On the Gen AI and data, we have predictive analysis, generative AI, data governance, NLP solutions, business intelligence, and database management. We do have services in the cybersecurity space, but I'll let my colleague talk about it. On the unified data resilience, we have Veeam backup and recovery, disaster recovery, ransomware protection, data archiving, and also multi-cloud data resilience. Why do customers work with us? Because of multiple things. One is that on the Gen AI, we have in-house Gen AI capabilities. We can be your technology partner to guide you on your journey, on your AI journey. So whether it is event-driven transformation or data lifecycle management, or if you have a team in-house and you need somebody to help you with the full stack, we can deliver the full stack, whether it is hardware, GPU, infra, storage, and help you deliver the on-prem AI experience. We also help you assess the incumbent products or platforms or services that you've had for some time, and suggest solutions which are better suited for today's volatile and complex environment. In a nutshell, we don't renew, we actually help you review and renew. Coming to the vendor neutral assessment of your use case, we help you to look at a use case in the context that you are. So if you're a BFS or if you're a manufacturing or your ITES services company, the environment in which you operate are very, very different, and therefore your unique use case will require a vendor neutral approach, and we will be helping you in that. We work with multiple products, so we can help you to do multiple product licenses, support, and even manage services under one roof. We help you to consolidate your vendors who are adding very less or zero value and help you procure from our catalog of products and services. For softwares which are not directly available in India through the OEMs, we help you to procure those softwares in the in the local currency, but we help our clients by delivering the softwares in India in an INR and a GST invoice. We deliver licenses and other services across the globe in local currency. Coming to the product and platform licensing services, in a snapshot, these are the kind of products and services that we deliver. Under the implementation services, we have multiple solutions, including backup, cloud computing, virtualization, Linux, container services, and IT security solutions, and also our homegrown Dhanyaayai platform, frame. These are some of our customers that we've been working for and who have trusted us with their digital transformation journey. That I'll hand it over to my colleague Vikram to take it forward.
Sure. Thanks, Anant. Thanks for briefing all the great work that you do at Dhanyaayai. And once again, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining today's session. My name is Vikram, and I'm part of the pre-sales team here at Trend Micro. Also with me, I have my colleague, Mr. Prithviraj, who is also part of the technical team. So if you have any questions during the whole presentation, be it for the Dhanyaayai team or for the Trend Micro folks, feel free to use the Q&A button in the meetings window, and we'll be more than happy to address all the queries that you would have. So again, as you would have seen while we are registering for this particular webinar, we are going to talk about how you can leverage Trend Micro Vision 1 to stay ahead of the curve in terms of the evolving attack surface. And let's look at all the solution offerings and the various use cases that you can achieve with the Trend Micro Vision 1. All right, so to start off with, just want to introduce you to Trend Micro as an organization. So we are a $2 billion US in gross sales overall for 2023, and we have been profitable ever since that we went public. So if you look at all the latest and greatest solutions in terms of XDR, cloud workload security, endpoint protection, etc., they have been recognized by the likes of Gartner and Forrester. And for Trend Micro, India as a region is one such areas where they want to do a lot of investment. And if you see in the recent past, starting 2020 onwards, we brought in local data center and technical support based out of India, and many other investments have been made in India as a region. And we are globally a 7,000 plus employee in count, and we are spread across multiple regions serving the customers who are present across the globe. To start off with, right? So if you look at one of the aspect in terms of IT layer that has been constantly increasing. If you look at Gen AI adoption, like how Anant was mentioning in his earlier slides, or be it SaaS adoption in terms of both applications as well as cloud adoption, there is constant rise in the IT surface itself becoming expanding, and so are the attacks as well, right? So one of the constant questions which the technical folks are challenged with is how safe is your attack surface spread across your user accounts to domains, active directories, cloud deployments, etc. So for an attacker, there could be one or the other methodology that he can leverage to gain an entry point within the organization, right? So these are a few of the questions which we commonly are asked, isn't it? Like how are we exposed to the particular cyber attack? Where do my cyber assets reside? What is an impact of vulnerability exploitation? Many other things, right? And if you look at how the cybersecurity industry has evolved in the recent past, it all started off with just the pure endpoint protection solution. But then again, there has been a constant evolution that is required in the way that we approach the cybersecurity architecture within an organization, right? Hence, it progressed towards an EDR solution, and then since it was not sufficient to have it just on the endpoint alone, it moved on to something like an XDR, right, which is more of a cross-layer detection and response to a holistic cybersecurity platform. So if you see, there is always a constant evolution that is also required from the likes of Trend Micro and the other the market leaders as well. So for you to make it relevant in today's context, right? So our suggestion is always to look at or to associate with a vendor who does constant evolution within the solution that they have, and stay relevant in terms of the attacks and how well they can protect against the evolving attack surface. So on the same lines, Trend Micro's Vision One, which is an enterprise cybersecurity platform, which has multiple solutions, the core solutions within the Vision One platform, right, which is endpoint, cloud, network, email, identity, etc., which is again a tailor-made, dedicated solutions for having a detection and response and a prevention layer across these IT layers, right? What is more important is how can you have a thoroughbred security operations across the solutions that you would have, some say from your endpoint to cloud to email and other layers, right? That is where we have a security operations layer on top of these core solutions, which actually does the likes of XDR, which I discussed in the previous slide, which is cross-layer detection and response, to SIEM and the SOAR capability, etc., within the solution. Now that was on the reactive, right? So when we say reactive, there is an incident by using various tools such as XDR and others. The security team can react to those incidents. But then there is also a necessity to have a cyber risk exposure management, which is more of proactive security, so that it can proactively give you that risk, which could be very important to your organization in specific, so that you fix that risk to avoid further damage within the environment. Now, what are the core principles for Trend Micro, right? Or I would say core investments that we are constantly making is on threat intelligence. So, as you know, the threats are evolving very fast, and it is very important to have one engine which actually gives you that threat feeds, intelligent reports, and many other capabilities, so that you stay ahead of the attackers. That is where threat intelligence comes into the picture, which is more of a bug bounty program that we run across the globe, which is the world's largest bug bounty program, which helps detect critical and high severe vulnerabilities. Followed by the last piece, right? And the most important piece is the services. So as you know, technology is one piece which is important to solve in terms of your cybersecurity architecture, but the people who are responsible to help deploy, maintain, and do that investigation and response day in and day out, they have to be a skilled professional. So in order to support that momentum or support your team, we offer multiple services such as incident response, threat detection and response, blue teaming, purple teaming, many other capabilities in terms of services that we want to offer. So just double clicking on a few of the core products that we offer from an IT security perspective, right? It starts off with the endpoint. So again, endpoint is something that we have been doing from a long time, which is one of the core solution that we started off initially 35 years ago, and still we are relevant. We are the leaders in the Forrester and Gartner evaluation that you would see. And few of the reasons why we are number one for the past 20 years in the Gartner's Magic Quadrant is we bring in latest and greatest solutions that are relevant in today's day and age for an endpoint security as well as server security, which is again, there is a misconception that you can use the same endpoint agent or endpoint security on the servers as well. But we differ over here, where we say that few set of capabilities are must to have in a server security, such as say, discovering of vulnerabilities, protecting against the patches which might be missing due to a new vulnerability resurfacing within the environment, many other things, right? So that is where endpoint and server security for Trend Micro has been one of the key solutions, and we continue to evolve in this space. Followed by email security, right? So as you know, in all the breaches that you would have seen, say Uber or any other recent incident, it always starts off with email as an attack surface where an attacker tries to compromise an end user by doing social engineering, send him a phishing email, user clicks on it, opens, and then the attack further penetrates within the environment. So with the dedicated email and collaboration protection from Trend Micro, what you can achieve is having a layer of protection on your email boxes as well as your collaboration suite, such as say SharePoint, OneDrive, Teams, Google Drives, etc., so that you have a complete collaboration as well as email security suite before the attack actually happens on the endpoint itself. Talking about cloud security, right? So as you have seen, even when Anand was projecting, cloud is always is going to be in the rise in terms of adoption, as well as I'm sure you within the organization have a lot of strategies and moving towards, say complete to cloud, hybrid cloud, multi-cloud, etc. Right? That is where having a dedicated CNAP, which is more focused on the cloud security aspects, such as having a better posture within the cloud, the storage offerings that you are using, having the security towards it, or now that the industry is moving towards micro the segmentation of an application, right? Microservices. If you are in that journey of the containerization of your application, you have a container image protection as well as complete lifecycle protection of a container. So likewise, it's a thoroughbred cloud security that we do from Trend Micro. And just a matter of fact, we are number one in terms of market share that we have for our cloud security, which I have a slide for you in the upcoming slides. Lastly, if you look at the complete network security in the first place, right? The buzzword right now is zero trust. Now, zero trust is not a product to begin with, right? It's always the approach. But then again, it all depends on how well you can include that principle across various deployments that you would have within the environment. So from Trend Micro, what we can help you towards your zero trust journey is having a layer of internal application protection, right? Which could be something like the VPN, right? You would be familiar with the traditional VPN, but what we can enhance that way is with next gen VPN with a form of zero trust private access, so that we are reducing the blast radius within the environment. Similarly goes with internet application access. Say you could be URL restriction or cloud application usage restriction and DLP over the internet. We can have multiple security over there as well. Now that we spoke about the core solutions, what we want to do is add an additional layer of detection and response. So what we saw in the earlier slide, this is more from a protection perspective. You have a layer of protection against all these IT layers. Next, add a layer of detection and response. So here the idea is pretty simple, right? There is Trend Micro sensors. When I say sensors, it could be endpoint, workload, containers, identity, many other things, right? Also third party. So very important to have third party log ingestion also within the XDR data lake. Now, what we want to do is ingest all these logs, the metadata from all these layers into the XDR data lake, where we can do multiple analysis, streamlining of data, have big data analysis as an approach, bring in the petabytes of data into fewer alerts for a SIM or a SOC analyst to take a response action against those threats that we would detect. So this is one such representation or screenshot from our Vision One dashboard. So as you can see, this is how the SIM or SOC analyst would actually be looking at from a threat graph perspective. looking at all the endpoints, end users, emails, or the network telemetry that are captured from all the sensors that I just mentioned in the earlier slide. And this is how it would represent within the Vision One console. And from there on, we can have multiple response actions that could be one automated, or even from a manual response perspective can also be done. So the idea here is instead of having multiple dashboards or multiple solutions in a siloed way that you have to look for coming to a conclusion, or coming to an incident response of an attack. Vision One can actually streamline that with having Trend Micro plus third-party log ingestion into the data lake, and it can give you that streamlined information or streamlined high fidelity alerts for you to take response against it. So just to conclude on the XDR piece, so again, it's a, as the name says, it is extended detection response, where the idea is you integrate multiple layers such as endpoint, email, cloud, etc., which one helps you to detect those hidden threats amongst all the telemetry data that we capture. Second, help you investigate with all the telemetry that we have captured, and we bring down into high fidelity alerts, where from here is where the investigation can be carried out, analyzing what happened, which are the endpoints affected, what is the patient zero, etc. Finally, respond with greater confidence. Say that you say you want to do isolation of a machine from the network, stop a process, delete, restore files, quarantine an email, scan a machine for malware, many other responses that can be either manually taken during the investigation phase, or trigger an automated playbook so that the response action can be taken from the Vision One console automatically, right? This was on the XDR, right, which is more of a detection and response as a strategy. But is it really enough in today's context? Why we say this is because what we are doing until the last slide is more of reactive, which is there is some incident that is getting created, the team is investigating it, then taking a response. But then, is there a way that we can proactively reduce the risk within the environment before an actual incident gets created in the later date? So, or is there any way that we can verify if we are compliant against, say, a list of compliance such as NIST, ISO, or many other compliances that are required for you as an organization to be ready with, right? And understand what is the business risk. So at the end of the day, we are dealing with a risk, right? It could be the one which is high, maybe very critical for you as an organization, or it could be less critical. So is there a method that we could that you can adopt for having that risk analysis to be done, help you compare with peers, compare with the industry, and implement the security controls which are required? So that is where the likes of cyber risk exposure management comes into the picture, where it helps you do three things, right? One is discover your attack surface, which is all the known, unknown, internal and internet facing assets within your organization could be integrated. Second, assess what is the risk and prioritize the important risk for your organization, right? And finally, help you mitigate that risk by running various playbooks, automate them, and then bring down the risk exposure of your organization. Now, as I said, it is a continuous as a life cycle that you have to follow, right? So that is what the tool helps you to do it. So here from the screenshot of the Vision One, you can see these are all the risk indicators for say a device that we have integrated over here. So the risk factor could be on the threat side, the system configuration, the vulnerabilities, the cloud application access, or the user account as well. So they could be a vulnerable or a compromised end user access this particular endpoint, and from there the attack could progress. So here the idea is we integrate Trend Micro products as well as third party. So the third party is extremely important for us, so that's the feed that we capture, say from your Active Directories to your vulnerability assessment tools, and many other third party integration that feeds in the data to the risk based management solution. Now, as an organization overall, say for your directors or for your executive who want a dashboard summary within the Vision One console, here is what they would be able to see, which is what is an overall organization risk score. What is the exposure of vulnerabilities for my organization? What is the attack phase that we are in? And finally, what is the security configuration of the solution that we are running, right? So it gives that comprehensive risk visibility, say for the past 30 days. Next, what you can also do is compare, your organization with a similar organization size of yours, as well as an industry average plus your peers. Say, for example, you belong to a manufacturing segment. So you can enable that feed saying that help me compare where do I stand amongst my peers. So that can give that holistic visibility as well. So here again, as I said, it does a comprehensive risk discovery and analyze those risks for you and gives a complete visibility on the dashboard. In terms of remediation, so the last two slides were more of discovering and giving you that risk. It is important to remediate it as well, right? Proactively, this is the solution that helps to remediate the risk that could be present within the organization. So this is how from the dashboard you will be able to see the playbooks that we have curated, right? So you can customize the entire playbook, say run on few set of machines initially, then roll it out to all set of users, have a layer of approval before, say isolating a machine. Many possibilities are possible with the automated remediation playbooks that we have designed, and you can make use of it for reducing the risk factor overall. Finally, so here is the approach, right? So you blend the best of a proactive approach, which is cyber risk exposure management, and the reactive strategy, right? So which is the XDR, so that one, you are proactively assessing your organization, how risky is it as compared to as compared to my peers or compared to my organization of similar size. What is the vulnerability exposure of all the assets that I have, both internal as well as internet facing assets? Is my compliance met? Are there any users who are compromised? Say, there is a credential leak on a particular user account. Do I get that visibility and take it forward to correlating that data with other layers such as the endpoint and, say our cloud? Many other possibilities are possible with the cyber risk exposure management along with XDR. So again, there is no replacement for both, right? Each has to complement each other and bring you that cohesive strategy of protecting both your or achieving both proactive as well as reactive security within the organization. So I would like to, now bring, if you put in more data about how Trend Micro has sustained as well as evolved in becoming a global cybersecurity leader. And few of the screenshots that I would like to share is with from the various evaluation that has happened from Forrester, MITRE, and the IDC for Gartner, etc. So we want to showcase how we have fared in the last couple of years. So as I said in the initial slides, threat research or threat intelligence for Trend Micro has been one of the key areas of investments. So if you see from 2007, we have been the number one in terms of disclosing critical and high severity vulnerabilities into the market. So this was the latest report published last year, where we contributed close to about 60% of the critical vulnerabilities, both on the application side as well as on the operating system level. So this speaks volumes about, one of the initiatives that we do as a part of our threat research program, which is Zero Day Initiative. So this initiative is all about, putting together a cohesive threat research team who is spread across the globe, who help us detect those zero-day vulnerabilities across various applications and operating system, and we help our customers to stay ahead of the attackers by building in the zero-day vulnerability coverage, right? Next thing, as I was speaking about cloud security and our Trend Micro's cloud security being one of the market leaders, if you recall. So this was from IDC. Again, all the reports which I am showcasing right now is publicly available, If you want any of them, we can help share it later on post the meeting as well. So this was from IDC, where they, every year over year calculate, amongst all the CNAP providers, which is Cloud Native Application Protection Platform, who has the highest market share across the globe. So if you see, the total market size is of 3.5 billion US dollars, and Trend Micro has about 13.1 percentage of this market share. And this is not the first time. Again, this is happening, many years from now, and that is why you see Trend Micro is a leader in the CNAP platform as well. And email security. So if you recall, where I was speaking about, email is one of those channels where we leverage or have a layer of protection against email-based threats, and it is important for you to have a dedicated email security. So if you look at why you should consider Trend Micro email, this was the latest report published by Gartner, which actually depicts Trend Micro as one of the leaders in this evaluation as well. And our strong comprehensive email security solution, which supports Microsoft, Google, or say even your on-premise deployments of the email platforms. So we support it all, right? And endpoint. So endpoint is again something that I mentioned. We are doing it from a long time, and we have been recognized as a leader for years together. So here you can see this is the 19th time that we have been recognized as a leader, where the first recognition as a leader came in somewhere around 2002. So you can see the longevity of the solution plus the company as well. So again, you might see a lot of companies that have started in say 7, 8 years back, but what is more important is for you to take a decision who has to be your cybersecurity partner, who not only survived the whole 30 plus years, but also evolved and brought in latest and greatest solution which are relevant in today's day and age. So the endpoint security from Trend Micro is one such product which has been constantly in the leaders quadrant in the 19th time. Same goes to the Forrester Wave as well. So the Forrester, they also do a similar, the evaluation of all the solutions who are having a endpoint security suite, and they analyze multiple things, right? So both Forrester and Gartner usually take into consideration about the install base that the vendor would have, how is the support, what is the roadmap, many other factors are judged. And Trend Micro again scored a very good ranking and was in a leaders quadrant last year as well. And lastly, on the Gartner's EPP critical capability, so this report actually speaks about the architectural constraints, environment, and the use cases that can be achieved from using a EPP solution. And we scored one of the highest points in this report as well. Finally, this is on the attack surface risk management. So which, if you recall my earlier conversation about the cyber risk exposure management, which actually does proactive risk-based analysis across your all the IT deployments that you would have. So that is where that is what the evaluation was from Forrester, and we again scored a leaders in the ranking segment. All right, just to conclude, right? So we spoke about multiple things in today's conversation. One is how Trend Micro started off 35 years ago, and we have been doing phenomenally well and expanding, growing, and bringing in latest and greatest solution into the market which are relevant. And we also spoke on the core solutions, right, across endpoint, AI, email, the cloud security, zero trust, many other core solutions part of Trend Micro's portfolio, which is all part of the Vision One platform, which is again a single console and a single pane of glass for enterprise customers like yourself, where you can choose which is the solution that you would want to adopt from Trend Micro, get started with it without having to have any second thought about it, right? And the methodology is not only to prevent in the first place, but also have a detection and response followed by a proactive way of analyzing and mitigating the risk. And that is where the holistic platform comes into the picture, right? So it not only has dedicated and a dedicated tool which actually helps you to solve, say, on the endpoint and the email, etc., but also helps you to do detection and response across Trend Micro as well as third party. So here are the outcomes that you would get by onboarding into Trend Micro Vision One, right? So one is, again, in terms of cost optimization and complexity, you would no need to have multiple consoles and multiple siloed tools, which does create, operational difficulties, and for your team to manage it with the likes of on-prem and other situations, right? Second thing is compliance. So as I said, with the help of risk management, the cyber risk exposure management capability, it can help you to build a compliance framework which you are bound to comply with, implement those security controls, say on your cloud, on your servers or your endpoint, etc., and help you to build that compliance as well. More importantly, the data that you would be storing in the 10 micro cloud-based solution, right? It is again part of the India data center. So your data is going nowhere outside India as well. So that is also part of the compliance strategy that you would achieve. Thirdly, in terms of reducing the silos and helping you with centralized visibility. So again, it's a single platform, right, which can do right from the protection as well as detection and response, and proactively managing your risk across all the IT layers that you would have. And what is extremely important today's attack surface is helping you with detections. So again, there is a lot of importance given into threat detection and incident response, so that your team can constantly focus on prioritizing which is the high priority risk, and which requires automation, which requires visibility across the assets. Many other capabilities are inbuilt into the centralized platform within the Vision One, which can help you and your team to build a comprehensive framework. And finally, in terms of elevating your cyber risk resilience, right? So constantly we are always challenged by the attackers to stay ahead of the curve, and it is very important to have proactively risk-based analysis capability, help you build that comprehensive security posture, identify gaps which can be filled with a better security. So these are all few points which is important in to achieving a cyber resilience, right? So that is where Trend Vision One, the enterprise cyber security platform from Trend Micro, is able to help you achieve that. So that's it. I think we are